Hey loves, welcome to this girl talk video. So in this video I'm going to answer your dilemmas and your questions. I asked you guys to send me your questions and your dilemmas on Instagram and I'm responding to them. I know I have male audience and I really appreciate you guys, but this one's termed girl talk. It's just for us girls because I can't advise men. I don't know what it means to be a man, so I choose to have this talk with girls. So you watch my other videos, but I appreciate you so much. So let's get started. The first one that I'm answering is a dilemma. I'm looking here because this is where my laptop is, so I'm going to read as I do my makeup. I don't have anything on. I want to first start with my eyebrows and then apply moisturizer and continue with the makeup. So the first dilemma is, I'm so confused right now. They've pushed me to the limit at work. Only option left is quitting. No, with a sad emoji. Of course, she's sad to quit. I'm wondering should I quit? They switch my position and like a whole month I don't have a salary. So first of all, I'm really sorry about this situation. Unfortunately, these things happen at work. So this is someone who is very dear to me actually. So I inboxed them to just know if they're okay and want to just get more about that. And what I got is that they change their positions. And sometimes workplaces do this. This has happened to me. You go there, maybe you've applied to be, I don't know, an accountant. You're an accountant. Next minute, they've made you into a social media manager. You're done managing social media accounts and you're like, this is not my job. So of course, you're going to have some challenges here and there, especially when you're put in a department that involves money. This has happened to me. In that there's a time I was working in a place that involves money. I don't like handling money if I can. And for some reason, I was always going like having two shots. What do they call it? And the money, when you're balancing the books are not balancing. Some cash is missing. Because you know what? You are not like equipped for that position. That is not your position. You maybe you sold something, you forgot to write. Maybe some things happen. For some reason, you have less cash. What will happen is that the employers will deduct that cash from your salary. Because how does it look like? It looks like you are the one who knows where the money went to. Sometimes the money is just there. Maybe it's just balancing of the books or whatever. So, when that happens, that's why she said that for a whole month I don't have a salary. Because you know they normally do those things. They deduct. By the time you realize you don't have your full salary or you don't even have a salary at all. So, what would Linda do in such a situation? I would quit. Because this is the thing. If at your workplace they've already started frustrating you, giving you problems, most likely they want you to quit. Even after you've raised a complaint, because the person already raised a complaint, like try to talk to them, they are not listening. Most of the time they want you to quit. They're just looking for a way to push you out. And the sad part is that the longer you stay or try to hold on, they will now do it in a more embarrassing way. They will even come and say, now you stole this, you did this, you did this, and then they fire you. So it becomes difficult for you to even get a job somewhere because what reason would you give for leaving your previous place of work? It's just a tricky situation. So me, I would advise you to quit. I followed up with them. They already did that, which was a good decision. It has taken me a while to film this video, so that's why. But someone who is in that situation, I would advise you to quit. Maybe not immediately, you're like, I quit, or like dramatic, but give yourself time. Just say, you know what, I'm not going to be here for long. I give myself maybe 2 months, 3 months, or whatever to sort myself out, start applying for other jobs, but get out. If they don't value you, they will frustrate you, and then they will fire you. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just doing my natural, my normal everyday makeup look. So I normally just draw them like that, shape here. I want to clean using concealer, though my concealers are running out. Let me see if I can get as much. And then from there, I'm going to just apply my moisturizer because my skin is starting to dry up, and then now continue with the foundation. So that one was a dilemma. The rest are topics that you guys wanted me to talk about, so that's what I'm going to do. So the next person wanted us to talk about how bad our hormones change every day. So we have male hormones and we have female hormones. The male hormone mainly is testosterone. The female are estrogen and progesterone. These two hormones, the female hormones, they are responsible for, they help our reproductive system to function well, but at the same time they fluctuate depending on which time of the month it is, compared to testosterone, which most of the time is stable unless you are aging as a man. But I know I look funny, I just want to blend it. So mostly our estrogen and our progesterone levels, they fluctuate, and that means that this affects us, our moods, compared to men who are a bit more stable. So a lot of these hormones, the female hormones, are produced during ovulation. The estrogen, progesterone, they are in high levels when we are ovulating, and then when we are in our menstrual cycle, they drop. When these levels are low, you may experience things like sadness. You are so sad around your period, irritability, anything small can just set you off, like annoy you. You feel like you want to eat sometimes, you want to eat so much, and this can even make you like gain weight. So maybe you may realize that during your ovulation or during certain periods, you are at your best, you have a lot of energy, you are happy, you are productive. And then when these estrogen and progesterone drop, you are sad, you are irritated, it's hard for you to fall asleep, okay? Insomnia also is there, you are fatigued. So bottom line is some of these changes also happen when you're experiencing menopause, because when these hormones change, then our skin also becomes like thinner. It becomes hard for our skin to absorb enough moisture. So what happens is that your skin becomes dry. There's so many changes that happen, especially during our ovulation, during our periods, and during menopause, and also pregnancy and childbirth. But bottom line is that the female hormones change. You need to know this so that you can be easier on yourself. You can be more gentle with yourself. There are people who have discovered they are practicing something called period syncing. Is it period syncing? Yeah, period syncing on menstrual cycle syncing. That means that you operate depending on what part of your menstrual cycle you are at, okay? For example, if you know very well, able to track your periods, you know very well that you are ovulating, and you know very well that that's the time that your hormones, like, they are quite high, you have the energy. Then that's why you schedule a lot of things that require you to be focused, to be productive. If it is filming videos, that's when you're filming back to back. If you're going for interviews, like, you can give it your best because you're at your optimum. And then when you know very well that your hormone levels are going to drop, then you just relax, okay? Instead of just operating like a man, like throughout the month, I've not yet started practicing it. So for me, I'm still operating like a man. Throughout the month, if I have to do this, I do this. But check more on period syncing. It's a whole topic, and experts have covered it. If you'd like to try it, to ensure that now you're able to work the most when you are most productive, and when your hormones drop, you're able to take that rest, and you know how to take care of yourself during those different periods. But generally, our hormones fluctuate. They affect our moods, they affect how even our skin looks, they affect our appetite. So just be gentle with yourself, okay? So I want to apply my foundation. I know my eyes still look a bit brighter, but don't you worry. So the foundation that I'm using is the black opal. So I like applying my foundation with a brush, and then my concealer with a beauty blender. Sometimes I add the setting spray so it can give me that dewy look and last longer. So let me just put a little bit of it. So the next girl wanted us to talk about employment versus employed. What I can say about it is that I've done both. And as someone who's done both, I can't say that one is better than the other, that self-employment is the thing, if you're employed, you are doing it wrong, or things like that, because they both have their advantages and disadvantages. So the most common is that, when you're employed, there is that job security. And I'm putting it in quotes because ideally there's no job security. Nothing is guaranteed in this world. I've been fired before. I've lost my job. So there's nothing actually guaranteed, but the thing is that it gives that impression. You feel like your job is more secure, like you know what to expect most of the time, unless something happens, you mess up at work or there are changes or the company goes down. But if all else is okay, you expect that you have a job, okay? As opposed to self-employed. Self-employed, you can start that business, it fails to pick up, you're not sure of what's going on. And even with the salary, because when you're employed, at the end of the month, if I earn 50,000, I am sure of that 50, I can budget to that 50. If I'm earning 20, I'm sure of that 20. When you are self-employed, you might earn 0, okay? You are not sure that at the end of the month, you're going to have that 50. But now, the advantage is that with now self-employment, there is no maximum. Today, this month you might earn 0, next month you may earn 1 million. And someone who is employed, even if the company they're working for makes 10 times the profit, they will still pay you the 50,000 because that's your salary. The good thing again with being employed is that there are regular work hours, especially if you're working for companies that are serious. Some companies that know you're supposed to be there by 8 or 9, you're supposed to leave by 5, If you're working for those, I'm not talking, there are jobs that do not have work limits. Let me say you're selling at an M-Pesa shop. I'm telling you, you will work even up to night time. There are jobs I've done where you work even up to 11, 12. But I'm talking about a normal job that is regulated, and for a serious company, at least you have your work hours. From there I'm going home. But now for self-employed, because you know very well that you cannot count on that. You're not guaranteed of the exact amount of money. You're not even guaranteed of the money. And if you don't put in the work, you won't get the results. You may not even have work hours. I'm telling you. You may work weekends. You may work from 5 a.m. You may work until midnight. But also an advantage of being self-employed is that you are in control of your time. I think this is the one thing I like the most about. Can I say I'm self-employed? I can say I am. I don't have a business, but I'm doing my own stuff, okay? Like the fact that I can say today I want to wake up, I prepare breakfast, I clean my house, I sit there and film video, take a rest for it, go to town, run an errand. That is the thing I like the most. Number one. So with the employment, it may be hard. I've been there. There are times I've had to lie as to why I need a leave. Well, the one that I did and I was like, I will not do it, I never do it again, is when I lied that my daughter was sick. I really needed that day off. I don't even know for what reason. But I knew very well that I was not going to get it. And I just woke up and said, my daughter is not feeling well. I need to take her to the hospital. Well, until I said, Lina, do not ever joke about illness like that. But that's something I appreciate right now, about being able to control my time. So what I can tell you about employment versus self-employment is that choose what works for you. Let me tell you, there are my loved ones who've been in employment for a long time ago. They are 100 steps ahead of me. 100. You cannot even compare where I am and where they are. I'm telling you. Because they got good jobs, they got promotion along the way, anything are just working out for them. There are so many steps ahead. So for some people, employment is just the thing that maybe will lift you up and take you to that level that you want. And then also, not everyone wants to be in charge of their own business, be in charge of people's schedule, all that responsibility. Not everyone is made for it. I was seeing a TikTok video where someone was, these people who ask people questions on the street, and they were asking a girl which kind of business they would want to start, and they said no, they would never want to start a business. That hassle of setting up the business, running it, looking for clients, they were like, no, I don't like that. What I like is I know what I'm supposed to do, follow that. There are people who are good at following rules, implementing structures that have been put in place, not them coming up with it. So just look for what works for you, and then do your best at it. And I normally leave this for like a minute or two, and then I just blend. Tell me why halfway through, that's when I remember that I didn't actually use my primer. I think I moisturized and I felt my face was like had enough moisture, but I normally apply my moisturizer first before applying foundation. So now I want to blend this. The next topic is This girl said, talk about vulnerability in relationships. So, vulnerability, one, it is essential to a healthy relationship. You guys can't have like a real and healthy relationships if you are closed off. You need to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is just all about showing your true self or presenting who you are to the other person. Now, as important as it is, the danger is that being vulnerable opens you up to being hurt, being rejected, because it's like you've given someone the weapon to hurt you. Okay, let's say that sometimes let's say I get into a relationship, okay, and then I tell my man how my family has always mistreated me. Do not ever do that. But that's not the topic of today. I don't know why people do that. So you tell your man how bad your family is. No one has your back. Yada 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 yada. And then now you get into an argument, and then they bring it up. They're like, yeah, you're always the problem. No wonder even your family doesn't like you. What? Or now they treat you badly, knowing that you can't go back home, like because you don't have a good relationship with your family. Or I talk to my guy and maybe open up and tell them, you know what, I normally overthink a lot. It's something that I struggle with. I'm an overthinker. And then one day, they are cheating. I see signs. I find charts and everything and evidence, but then they convince me that, you know what, Linda, you're just overthinking. Don't you know that you're an overthinker? This is what you do. So, for you, before you become excessively vulnerable with someone, just be sure that this person is a good person. They have your interest at heart. They won't use your vulnerability, why can't I pronounce that word? They won't use it against you. I'm trying to concentrate on blending, because at this point, if you don't blend well, at this point of concealer, when you put the powder, now everything will be chaos. But the name of the game is blend, 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 blend. So don't be afraid of being vulnerable. It really opens up your relationship and makes you guys have that emotional connection. It's like, who wants to date like an ice block? But don't be vulnerable with everyone. Take your time to see if someone deserves your vulnerability. So we have just poured this. I want to put my setting powder. I'm using the Sasha Buttercup. Now I've poured it all over. So what I normally do is I just take a little bit of it, and then I dab slowly, especially like my entire face. I like using powder in my entire face. Some people just use powder on where they've used concealer, but for me, I'm comfortable with the entire face. I don't want to be hugging people and my foundation is just left all over their clothes, because sometimes you can't avoid that. Let's go to the next topic, is how to balance motherhood and career. So, if you are pursuing a career, I'm talking about those people who are pursuing careers, because it's motherhood and career. I'm not saying not everyone should have like a career. No, I don't think so. Everyone should have like a passion or something, but some people are okay with being stay-at-home moms and wives, and that's so awesome. But you have passions, okay? You have things that you are pursuing that you love. So the ones who have both a career and a moms, the thing is you will never have that perfect balance. Not like a seesaw where one is here and one is here. Most of the time it's not like that. Most of the time it's like this. That's like, what you want to try and avoid is this. Now you are focusing so much on your career, you've forgotten that you are a mom. Or you're focusing so much on motherhood, you've completely abandoned your career. That is if you are doing a career. I repeat again, if you're not doing a career, this does not apply. So after saying that, after knowing that, then you won't strive for that perfection. You know that perfect balance. So some of the things you can do to make sure that you have almost like a balance is, one, have like routines or schedule. What do you do in the morning? What do you do? For example, when I used to go to work, I knew that I would wake up. I've like throughout my motherhood career, there are times that I've had house helps. There are times I've used daycare. No, but I had a schedule. I had like a routine. For example, for the time that I was using daycare, I knew that I would prepare some foods at night. I would wake up, I prepare tea, pack that tea in a thermos, yada yada yada, prepare my baby, take her to daycare, yada yada yada. There was a time I had a house girl. What we'll do is I would wake up, prepare for work. I would ask my house girl to help me with some things, for example, making tea, and then I prepare my daughter, or we prepare her together, and then when we are leaving, I would take her to school, so I drop her off, and then I go to work. Because I knew very well that I would not be the one picking her up. She used to get picked up at 3 or 3:30 that time, and that time I'm at work. So I said, because you know what, I won't pick her up, I'm the one who's going to drop her off in the morning. In the evening, yeah, we also had a curry routine. If I didn't come back late, I would bathe her, so we can bond. If I came back late, of course my husband would bathe her, and then you have that schedule of what do you do. Don't just operate like randomly. You'll feel so overwhelmed, things will get crazy. As I say that there will be no perfect balance, that means you need to be flexible. There are days that you may not go to work because your child is sick, or you need to take them to the clinic, or something happened. There are days that you want to be there for your child. Maybe they have something going on at school, or maybe they are starting to work and you want to experience that, but at the same time you have to be at work. So you have to be flexible and give yourself that grace of not thinking that this is exactly how things should go and not any different, okay? And the next thing is that ask for help when you need it. This help can be in terms of maybe hiring. Like for me, I would hire house girls because obviously I needed the help. Even before my daughter started school, I needed someone to stay with her at home. If you have neighbors that you guys are on good terms with, if you have family, that can help here and there, just ask for help. That's why they say it takes a village to raise a child, okay? Otherwise you're going to go crazy. So I've done my setting powder. I want to do my compact powder. This is the Luron compact powder. Yeah, so I've just dab a little bit. It's a bit, that color, it's brown, I like it like that. And just go over, because the other powder is a bit light. Yeah, and I like how this makeup is coming along. And the last thing about balancing motherhood and career is do not judge yourself. Things will happen. You will wait for your child to take that first step. You're at home with them in the evening, weekend, you're waiting, and then one day when you're at work, that's why they decide to make their first step. And guess who's not there to experience that? You. Guess who's there to experience that? The nanny. And you will feel bad. And you will judge yourself and think that you are a bad mother for missing those milestones. You're not. Don't judge yourself. You are juggling two things. Okay? So I'm done with the powder. I'm loving this girl talk. If you guys want me to do more of this, let me know. So, next is I want to apply my blush to just bring some color back to this pretty face. I want to apply this pink, okay? Because now my hair is all brown, my face is all brown, so I just apply my cheeks like, yeah, smiling. So when this thing, I like it when you're with the guy and then they think you're blushing, but you've applied blush. Because they're like, oh, your cheeks are turning pink. Don't worry, I'm going to put setting spray so I can be glowy, because I don't like this kuparara, this dry, ashy look, okay? Not ashy, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it in English. The next topic is depression caused by financial instability. Now, there are so many things that can cause depression, but financial instability is top there. That one and relationships, those ones are top. This is something I have experienced. I have been here. Girl, you're not alone. Let me first spray this. This is a setting spray. I just want it to be dewy, glowy instead of kuparara. So let me spray a lot of it, okay? And then I'm gonna look crazy. Let it just dry. The first thing is that don't be too hard on yourself. These things happen. There are times you push, you try this and that and that and that, and nothing seems to be working. Okay? So one, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't blame yourself too much. The second thing that I would advise you to do is to engage in self-care habits that don't require money, because already we don't have money, okay? But from my experience, when you're going through it, the first thing that goes, the first thing that people let go of is self-care. I'm a testament to that. I'm telling you, there was a time even showering seemed like such a big job. Showering and brushing my teeth. Who has the strength to shower and brush their teeth? Yet I am stressed. I want to cry. My head wants to explode. But that self-care is important because it will help you take care of your mental health. Like, it will improve your mental health. You're already under stress, but at least that will help to relieve. So that can involve things like taking care of your body physically, bathe and brush your teeth. Some of you may think that, why am I mentioning these are basic? This is not basic. If you've been depressed, hey, you don't have the strength to do anything. So shower, brush your teeth, find a way to take off some of those things that are in your head, because now you're overthinking. You're like, what should I do? You have done this, is not working, let me do that. So what I did was, that's the time that I started journaling, when I was very, very down. I remember one day I just took a book. I had like a free book. I just took a book, I wrote the date, and I wrote, I have hit rock bottom. I remember that was my first sentence. From there, the words just kept flowing. I'm trying my best. Everything that was here, I just poured it down onto paper. So try to find a way to do that. Okay? So this one has settled. You see, it's looking better now. I want to do my lips and then my, what is it called? I want to do my lips and then my eyelashes and stuff. So I normally just use my eye pencil. I draw and then I put on this lip gloss, or maybe brown lipstick, because that's what appears good to me. You can do things like meditating. Those things are good for your mental health, okay? Because they help. Meditation helps your mind to calm down. Because now when you're depressed, you are overthinking. You are in your head can even feel tight, like you umefikiria kwa yote. So meditate to relieve of that tension. Journal to relieve that tension. And then also you can do things like affirmations. Affirmations give you hope, okay? Because when you're doing affirmations, you don't talk about your current situation, you talk about where you want to be. Like, if maybe you are saying you are struggling for money for basic needs, you tell yourself, I have money to pay for rent, I have money to pay for food, I'm grateful for the abundance that those kinds of things, okay? I mean, it's stupid, but they work. And what do you have to lose, by the way? Because you're already depressed, you're already down there. And these things don't require money. And then another thing you can do is to go out. Not partying. No, once in a while, if you are called to, okay, I'm not saying that you shouldn't like party, but if you are really that depressed, actually for me, how it manifested is that I didn't want to be around people. I would actually go out to buy food at night. Ndio niende na hiyo 50 bob yangu. Kama ni hiyo skuma, kindly squeeze it as much as you can. So, but going out, like if you're taking walks, especially somewhere where there's nature, walk, look at other people, look at buildings, look at vehicles, something to take your mind off. And if you're taking that walk in a place that has nature, it is just so healing. I can't explain it, but nature is so healing. So do you see how this makeup is coming along? So let me do I don't know if I do my mascara and eyeshadow, because I'm not going anywhere actually. But let me just do them, and then because I might film some TikTok videos. So the next thing you can do is ask for help. Ask for help, Nani. Well, man is not an island. If there are people that you can rely on, if there are people that can hold your hand, okay, ask for help or what. It's not the thing that anyone looks forward to. I also didn't like having to call someone and be like, you know what, I don't have money for supper tonight, but what will you do? Will you sleep hungry? Will you? So ask for help, and then also try to make small steps towards increasing your income. I'm telling you, there are times if you are struggling financially, no matter how much you cut your budget, it's not going to help, because You've already cut your budget. If you're struggling financially and you're even depressed, I'm sure you're not going to the spa. I'm sure you're not buying handbags left, right, and center and shoes. You've already cut out everything that you need to cut out. What is remaining is the basic. So what you need to do is find ways to increase your income. And you can continue making those 2 small steps. Even though it seems like they're not paying off, you just continue. You just do your part. Okay? Things will improve. Things will improve. Nothing is permanent in this world. And then I just want to apply my mascara. This mascara is so good. I've never praised a mascara. It's the Kiss Beauty Ultra Stretch whatever. Hey, it's so good. You'll see a difference. Let me do this and then I don't even know if you guys can see a difference, but yes. So I just want to look for something that is natural, that is brown. Most of the time I do this, brown in color. There are colors I've never even used. They are like yellow and blue. And normally see some dark skinned girls doing that and it looks good. You do yellow, blue here, and then here it's just nude. I might try it one day. Let's just do the one that I normally stick to. So the next topic is remote work. So you wanted me to talk about remote work. Remote work is simply any work that you do outside the office building, okay? And a lot of people normally confuse it with freelancing. Freelancing is a type of remote work. Any job that you can do in the office, you can do remotely. For almost any job. For example, if you're a customer care representative, if you have the right, you need tools and access to that, whatever, you can do that at home. If you're a video editor, you can do that at home or outside the office. If you're a graphic designer, so you design and you send someone the designs online and they like it, they pay you. So online remote work, it exists, people do it, and you can earn from it. What you need to do is pick the exact kind of work you want to do. Because sometimes I normally even get questions, people are like, Linda, can you teach me online work? And I'm like, what do you mean by online work? There is data entry, virtual assistant, academic writing, transcription, even forex trading falls under that, it's online. You can be an administrative assistant online. There are so many things. So first of all, you need to choose which kind of remote work or which kind of online work you want to do. So after that, you learn it. If you don't know how to do it, you learn it. You can hire someone to train you. You can go online and learn from the free resources, learn how to do the job, and then now start applying for the jobs, and then keep getting better and better at it. Times that I was very, very active on article writing or writing, I used to go to YouTube and type how to create good Upwork proposals, how to create Upwork proposals for article writing. I joined Facebook groups. I was aggressive. I tried to teach myself things like SEO, search engine optimization. So identify what you want to do. You learn it, become better and better at it. And that's how you also get more and more clients. If you're working for a company that is in another place that you're working for them remotely, then if you want those kinds of jobs, then apply for them. As much as they work, there's a big risk of being conned. Also, these are the jobs that people get conned the most. About sends due money to do what's due for due medical, for registration, due for what. So you have to be keen, okay? If you don't understand something, or if you're not sure of something, you ask around. Are you supposed to send money for this when you're applying for this kind of job? Things like that. Let me work on my hair as I continue, because I want to these are curls, so I just doing this with my hair. So this chance of being conned, I don't know if you can really escape being conned. I don't know if it's like a rite of passage. I've been conned 3 or 4 times, but just do your research and ask to minimize the number of times you're going to get conned, okay? If you're able to avoid being conned completely, lucky you. The last question is how to make money. Girl, don't you all want to know how to make this money? I'm telling you, this question is so broad. What I can tell you is that identify something you can do for someone to make their life easier, to solve their problem, okay? There's a friend of mine, we were talking, and then she was like, where she lives, she realized that there are a lot of people, there's a lot of traffic in that area. In the evenings, on Sundays, there are a lot of churches there. People go to church. So what did she do? She opened up a business where she sells things that are fried, things like chipo bajia, those along those lines, things that are fried. And you know what? People are even looking for her in her house. They're like, oh, now you've not opened today, because they know that after church on Sundays, mostly people don't like cooking. Who wants to come from church and then start banging saucepans? So they pass by there, they buy those things, they munch. There are a lot of bachelors, and that was her observation. She told me there are a lot of bachelors there, which means bachelors don't like cooking every day. So identify something you can do for someone, whether it's physically, whether it's online. Some people don't like shopping, but they want to have shopping in their house. So become a personal shopper. Shop for them. Do that thing that will make their life easier, that thing that they don't like doing, but they want done. Okay, there's so many ways to making money. It is a very, very broad topic. So I don't know from which angle maybe you are asking, making money in what way. And then also with everything you do, I always say you have to keep improving yourself, become better and better at it. The more you do that, the higher you can charge for it. Let me say you're doing a service. So girlfriends, this is how I normally do my makeup, my normal everyday makeup. Sometimes I go overboard with the lipstick, I do shouting, but this is my normal. If you've seen my videos, most of the time I do this. So imagine, guys, these are questions that my people on Instagram sent me. I could have answered your question too, but now you're not following me on Instagram. What then? Okay, so follow me on Instagram at LindaMaryKE. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me, this girl talk. If you have more suggestions, more advice, or something to add to the topics we've covered, please do that in the comment section. Let us continue to educate each other, because I don't know everything, so I might have left something out. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video. Nawapenda sana, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.